Welcome, my Aries, to your 2024 year ahead forecast. I'm Christine. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Quick note before we start, grab yourself a drink, pen and paper, because I always find that when you are tapping into other forms of divination, you will get messages yourself. So this may be especially useful to you as we enter the year ahead. Also, I want to give credit where it's due. This reading that I'm about to do is based on the tarot spread by the tarot lady called the New Year Forecast Spread. So if you see me looking down, I simply have her spread here with the different tarot fields that I'm going to look into. We are going to dive in, and this is going to get deep. We're going to look at the summary of the year that has just finished, your career, your finances, your love outlook, family and friends outlook, spirituality, and then we're going to go through each quarter, January to March, April to June, July to September, October to December, the biggest obstacle you'll face this year, how to tackle that obstacle, overview of the year ahead, and I've added a few additional oracles that I've intuitively picked for this 2024 year ahead. We're going to tap into your journey and also the guidance from archangels and the best way to take care of yourself. I'm so excited to do these. It takes time, but as always, thank you again for being here. We are going to start. Okay. I'm going to lay out all the cards. I've shuffled them already, and this is a 13 card spread, so I'm simply going to draw them now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I don't have enough room vertically, so I had to move up. Let me move these up. Okay, first card here. We have summary of the year gone by. We have the moon, my Aries moon. This is represented by, in tarot it's Pisces, but I also attribute it to Cancer because Cancer is ruled by the moon. There's been major transitions this past year for my Aries, major transitions, but I heard secrets revealed. So I feel like you found out so much about not just yourself, but the world around you, what you've crossed into, what you've started, what you've ended. It's been an extremely, I'm just getting like a light bulb here where you've just gotten to know yourself on a very deep level, but that also illuminates outwardly, because when you know yourself, you see things very differently around you. The bridge here, to me, there's been a lot of transitions, shifts in your life. Some of you have started and ended new, it could be careers, jobs, situations, relationships, also mindset. Some of you have moved as well. Cancer, well, I'm getting Cancer, but the moon in particular rules your inner environment. There's a nostalgia here of remembering home, your inner emotions and world. There's a deeper sense, I feel, of connecting to yourself, like I mentioned earlier, but also connecting to the environment, to people around you. FYI, if you hear any slurps or chews or anything, those are my 2 wiener dogs. This past year has been a lot about getting in tune with yourself, connecting to your, not just intuition, but connecting to the unseen, connecting to your feelings and your emotions and what that has felt like for you. Because I feel like for some of you, there was a divide this year about that. Some of you have opened up to emotional intimacy and you've up-leveled emotionally. You could call it emotional maturity, emotional maturation, emotional development. But there's something here where you've grown tremendously and you've up-leveled in your way. I feel like 2023, for many Aries that are tuned into this, you've literally crossed a giant bridge. I'm getting transcendence. So there's a major spiritual glow up that's happened here, but it's very deep. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna get crystals and wear it around my neck and, and that's it. This is deep. Something profound has shifted, and I feel like for many it's connected to, we can say, other lives, other lifetimes. It could be the bridge to the other world. If any of you are connected or have been guided by ancestors in the past year, there's a stronger sense of purpose and meaning. And I feel like you've been finding your spot in the world. It's like, how do I fit in all of this? What does this all mean to me? Super deep, esoteric, existential that I'm getting here. There's been, I'm getting chills here. I feel like you're also finding the place in the world where you feel safe. What safety means for you, physical and emotional safety. And I feel like 2023 brought about a lot of different situations, challenges, relationships, people to almost mirror to you all of this that was happening to help you become not just connected and more in tune to yourself, but also figure out, what does all of this mean for me? What does safety and emotional safety mean and look like for me? Where do I feel most at home? Who is part of my home? There's a sense of nourishment here as well. You know what I got? Some of you have burned bridges. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I feel like this is positive, but I also feel like this has also helped you come back to yourself. Some of you were over giving in certain situations where you just got perhaps burnt out, or that feeling where you were just exhausted. There's an energy leakage that happened in 2023, and I feel like it was to provoke, hey, Aries, wake up, you got to take care of yourself too, because I'm getting nourishment, self-care, and taking time. It's almost like, where am I going to put my energy now? It's not a hesitation, but there's an intentionality and almost a prudence. You're like, it's not just rushing in to save the day type of energy. And I don't mean that offensively. I mean, some of you may have really put in a lot of time and work and effort to be there for other people or situations in your life. It could be a job. It could be anywhere where you invested that time. And I feel like something that you've also discovered in 2023 was that it wasn't always reciprocal. It wasn't always given back to you, because the moon is a big, giant ass mirror and it reflects a lot to us. And so I feel like, again, a lot of situations, people, places, things, mindsets were reflected back to you. And if you felt triggered or it dinged you in a way, you know, when it pings and it causes a ding, it doesn't always feel good. And that was simply to elucidate and illuminate within you, well, what do you want? Because if it's not this, then something has to change. I get a strong transcendental, spiritual transcendental crossing here, where some of you were asked and provoked in 2023 to go way deeper than you have before. It's not just about finding a pretty home, a home that you want to manifest that looks cool with who knows what that you want. This is deeper than that. This is a spiritual home, an emotional home. So if everything else was taken away from you, that you yourself would still feel intact, because you're like, I got myself, I'm gonna be okay, I'm strong, I'm gonna keep going. You're being guided too. Some of you have really reconnected in 2023, or have been guided to connect perhaps to more esoteric, metaphysical, spiritual topics, your intuition. Some of you may have become more interested in your psychic gifts, skills, attunement, and as a way to empower yourself. Those that I'm tapping into here, you guys are very psychic, and I feel like some of you have had to experience what you did in 2023 in order to recognize that, which is unfortunate, because sometimes I feel like what you all have felt was true, but you may have disregarded that. You may have doubted yourself. You may have said, nah, that can't be happening. I feel like 2023 for my Aries was meant to come back home to yourself. I know it sounds cliche, I know it sounds corny, but it was a way to become emotionally open and intimate with yourself, so you start saying, wow, this doesn't feel good to me anymore. I want this, I desire this, and I feel like there's a closeness here, there's a sense of being safe, nourished, cared for. You guys are prioritizing yourself. And perhaps this has to do with the nodal change. We had the nodes, the lunar nodes shift in July 17th, I believe, from Taurus, Scorpio to Aries, Libra. So there's this energy wherever Aries hits in your chart. You guys may be sun, moon, rising, north node in Aries, Mars, Venus, Mercury. But this is a chance for you to stay, how do I put it? It's almost like, yes, still put your energy towards others in the way that feels good and that helps them, but this is a time to also further cement that path for yourself and individuate what freedom, I heard freedom of success, means to you and looks like. You guys are redefining what, I keep hearing safety with you all, what safety, nourishment is to you. We got, oh, I didn't see these. Are these raccoons or two pandas? They look like red pandas. Almost look like foxes, but pandas. You see them down here? So some of you may connect with these animals. Maybe they're raccoons. So I'll just say these spirit animals, it could be raccoons or pandas for you guys. The red here signifies having to do with your base or root chakra. So this is about your foundation, your security, your safety. It could be about your finances too, but this is all about how safe you feel and grounded in this earth, in this world. A lot about the home. Some of you have been thinking a lot what home means to you. Some of you are going to be traveling. 2023 was a year of fleshing out what wasn't, what didn't resonate with you, what no longer fit you, because many of you have grown in very deeply spiritual ways where you're looking for something deeper. Some of you may have strong connections to Scorpio, which also is co-ruled by Mars. I'm getting something depth, deep. You're being guided now by your light. Look how strong that full moon is. It's a big ass moon. Maybe it's a super full moon. But I feel like this is what 2023 largely pointed you towards. It was like a redirection, because some of you, I felt, were going in directions that looked good on the outside. And I'm saying this very broadly because there's so many energies here. But it didn't connect with you. It didn't feel like how you thought it would feel. It's almost like when you enter a relationship or a job and you have this vision in your head of how it's going to feel or look like, and you get there and it's just not what you expected. I feel like 2023 for my Aries was about that. It's redirecting you towards something deeper, connecting to what really matters to you. I feel like 2024, this is a continuation. You're being guided by your own intuition and learning to really follow what feels true for you. Okay, let's continue on. We'll look at your career outlook now. Okay, so we got one card for each. I have all these cards here, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not plucking from the wrong one. Queen of Cups. This is water energy. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You guys, my apologies for my wiener dog. She's going all at it with her dry food, and they do this right when I film. Look at this again, your career. Some of the messages I'm telling you guys right now connects to the 2023 summary of the year that has just gone by, what I've just discussed. There's whatever it is that you are pursuing for your career, what you're wanting to do, it has to connect to you emotionally. Nothing around it. I feel like Aries, if you are in any type of career or job, because sometimes they're not the same. You can be working, but it's not part of the career path you want to go. So take this in both ways. Whatever you're doing in right now for your work, I feel like you're going to realign. Some of you are in the midst of crossing that bridge because this is 2023. And many of you are making changes right now or will be or in the process, because I feel like there's an emotional connection that has to happen. You want to feel good doing what you're doing. You want to feel good doing what you're doing. You don't want to be in a job just to do the job. I feel like there has to be a higher meaning here, a higher connection. Whew. Some of you are feeling called to do something again. There's something with depth here, something to help other people. It could be in a nourishing, healing type of field. It could be caretaking, taking care of others, older adults, gerontology, children. It could be teaching professions, counseling, therapy, coaching, healing, like metaphysical, energy arts, divination. It could be working with aquatic life, sea life, life force energy, but creatures that are alive, so animals as well. It doesn't have to be, you guys, but there's something here where I feel like your emotions are guiding you to connect to work, career, jobs that feel good, that you're contributing, you're gifting your time, your energy. It's like service. There's a strong element here that's coming in 2024. This also speaks for those of you, especially I'm getting for Aries, that have jobs that require a lot of your stamina, a lot of your energy, a lot of your time. It's going to be very, very important to devote the same amount, if not more, to your self-care. It's interesting because you're the first reading for the 2024 year ahead that I did, and I felt such a strong pull. I'm like, I got to include an element of self-care, and I have my self-care oracle about a particular self-care to focus on for 2024. Feel it strongly. Aries, some of you, you have so much energy that you can easily put out a lot. You can work long hours, you can dedicate yourself and get into that. So there's an element here that's coming up about balancing that as well with your self-care. Some of you actually need to take a peel back, a step back. I heard a peel, a step back, and ask yourself, okay, I know I'm going to be working maybe longer days, or this is my schedule. And in order for this to make me feel good, in order for me to feel my best and, optimal, this is what I'm going to need. Some of you, I feel, are going to need more sleep, time for emotional processing. So there's something about expression of your emotions, of your words, of your feeling. Some of you may want to hook up with, let me rephrase that. Some of you may want to connect with. When I say hook up, I meant connect with, but I know it has different meaning in some languages. Connect with someone that you could talk with, that you trust. It could be a trusted friend. It could be maybe a support group or some type of circle, like a what are those called? Mindset circles? Masterminds. It could be coaching, therapy. You could be working with a healer, a teacher, a guide. There's something here that's going to help you connect to yourself and grow in that way in 2024, especially in your career. I also feel like journaling, because there's something here about making sure that you stay in check with how you're feeling, because some of you may have the tendency to go all in something, especially when it comes to your career, work, job, which is what we're on right now, and you lose sight of the bigger goal of how you're feeling. It's like you're so focused, okay, we gotta finish this. So it's important to constantly check in with yourself, maybe daily, maybe set a time during lunch or at the end of the day and ask yourself, how did I feel today? What made me feel good and what didn't? What areas of my work, career, or job do I really like and that bring me a lot of joy, a lot of energy, and I feel good about, and which don't? Because there's almost like a constant fluctuation, especially with the water energy here, of making sure that, yeah, things are going to ebb and flow. Not everything is always going to feel good, especially in work. Sometimes we don't want to respond to emails, but it's part of the job. But it's also making sure that your energy is staying, it's not even balance, it's staying in a flow state that is optimal for you, so that you are giving as much as you are receiving. Many of you in 2024 are going to learn how to balance your career and your non-career life. Even though we're not on there yet, I feel this strongly for my Aries. So if any of you have struggled with, we could say, family, work life, personal life with work, career, jobs, this is something that's going to come into play, because I do feel an expansiveness with your relationships happening in 2024. And so this is going to be important for you to know, okay, this is when work ends for me. Even for those that don't have traditional work schedules, it's almost like, okay, today I'm going to work on this project during these times, and when I'm done, that's it. Because I feel like some of you may carry the energy of thinking about work or diving in and not making room for what brings you pleasures in life, what brings you emotional fulfillment and joy, because it's true what they say, there's more to life than just work, career, and career, what was the other one? Work, career, and jobs, excuse me. Some of you in work too, I got a lot of messages right now, are stepping it up in leadership. You're going to be recognized or seen in some way. Many of you are, I feel like the way that you are going to relate to people, especially if you're a manager or you're in that type of level, and it's going to have different names. That's why I say if you're in some type of interfacing leadership or public facing position, whether you work for yourself or for others, I feel like you're going to bring in more of that emotional component in there. There's a sense of vulnerability too, of opening up, sharing more of yourself. It's almost like when people say that you share more of your emotions and feelings, it humanizes you. I feel like that's what's happening here. Now, I'm not saying you guys weren't human before, you didn't share your emotions, but I feel like this is coming as a result of what we talked about earlier, of the 2023 overview, the summary of that year. I feel like it has to do with a new version of what authenticity means to you, what your truth is guiding you towards. Some of you may start demonstrating empathic, adaptive forms of leadership. Again, tying in your emotions, sharing or partaking in more storytelling as it has to do with yourself and how you can help others, especially in your work and career and your jobs. This is a really beautiful energy because it's very heart-centered. It's really connected to what feels good to you, but also to your intuition and your psychic abilities as well. There's an expansiveness here. That's why I mentioned I get a healing. Some of you may, it doesn't have to be your main job, but you may start exploring different areas for you to also learn more about this, to tap into this, or to integrate it in some way. Wow. Okay, let's take a look now at your finances. We got 9 of Wands. Don't worry, it doesn't mean your finances are going to be shitty. Because this 9 of Wands, this is fire energy. Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. There's some type of ending here with the 9 of Wands. And I can clarify it in a sec. You know, I never realized this was a rooster. The house, it's got a tail of a rooster and the feet. I feel like you're moving away. Your finances, I feel like, are going to shift dramatically based on your energy. Some of you were in positions or in jobs or work where you invested so much time and energy, and you may have had that mindset where you're like, the more I put in, I'm going to be recognized, I'm going to be appreciated, I'm going to be valued, and I'm going to get more money. Again, a strong influence since the start of your reading about your energy, self-care, energy management, I should say, self-care, and your emotions. And I feel you're starting to realize, well, wait a minute, if it doesn't feel good, why am I investing so much time and energy? Why am I doing so much if I'm not getting back? There's a balance here needed between receiving and giving for some of you. This is a fine line too. The more that you give to yourself, the more you're going to receive. There's an abundance energy here happening. There's a need for you to take care of yourself. And this is a mindset shift that I'm getting, and this is related to your finances. And it can be hard because if some of you may have workaholic tendencies, or the tendency to, okay, you may equate your identity or the way that you work with the output or your productivity or how much energy or time. You may equate, well, I worked 80 hours a week, you know, but there's a shift happening here where you are going to start realizing, actually, the more you take care of yourself, it increases how much better you feel about yourself, right? That ties into the emotional feelings aspect, which means now you're going to bring that energy. It's a different form of energy to your work, which means that you're like, wait a minute, I'm not working 13-hour days here. Again, take it as it resonates, because some of you may be in professions where you work longer, but it's not consistent. It's not like you work like that every single day of the year. But this is simply asking you, what are you overgiving that you don't need to? Where are you overgiving? Because this affects your finances too. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you need to invest all of it. There's nothing to prove here. It has nothing to do with your worth. So some of you, this is about revising your value system and your worth, because it's going to call in it's going to shift your finances, I should say. So for those of you that are looking, most people are looking for an increase in finances, not generally lower. So it's going to call in more of that form of abundance for you. There's an ending in the way that you used to relate to your finances, to your money. This is money consciousness, scarcity, lack, all of it, because of the different energies that I'm tapping into with Aries right now. So something here is ending in 2024, and you're doing it differently, which means that your finances are going to change as a result of this. Again, to me, this signifies your energy. Some of you are just pulling back. And you're going to start seeing the more that you find your balance, whatever it looks like to you, and the more you feel good, the more you're going to receive. I know it sounds counterintuitive. We're going to clarify this too. It's hard for those that are not used to that. And I say this, I don't have major Aries, I don't have any planets in my Aries house. We all have these signs, but I say this because I had this type of thinking too. So your energy is going to shift big time, and it's going to affect your money for the better. Can we clarify the Nine of Wands, please, for my Aries? Thank you. Nine of Wands, bottom of the deck, High Priestess. Okay, clarifying the Nine of Wands, we've got the Page of Pentacles, Earth energy, and we've got 10 of Swords. You're releasing an old way of valuing yourself, big time. Big time. You got 9 and 10, completion. The way that you used to relate to money, especially if it was a lower expression. And I kept getting for a vast majority of Aries, the more I work, the more I demonstrate my worth, the more I show, the more I get. That's changing. And it's for the better, because it's going to allow you to manifest things that feel good, that are in balance. Look at this person is balancing. This is the new way. It's almost as if, you know what, I'm tired of having that red rug in my front door. I'm going to change it to a blue one. And every time you see it, you just feel different. Similar to that energy, because the rug is your foundation. So here, this is about your values. So your values in 2024 are shifting big time in terms of your energy. Some of you are really learning and connecting to your feminine energy, because so far we've had a lot of feminine energy here with the water signs and the moon. Look at this. And it's just energy, has nothing to do with sex or gender. And this is about tapping into your receptive abilities to receive, to your intuition, to feeling into things, knowing when to respond, knowing when to take action, and also knowing that you have to nourish yourself, because if you are deplete, if you're not feeling good about it, but you're still expending energy, it's going to call in that wrong energy. It's almost like if you pretend, you may pretend, I'm getting here love relationships, so this may be the best way just to show you in terms of an example. It's almost as if you want something long-term with someone, right? And you're afraid, well, what if they think I'm too nerdy or brainiac or whatever? So you change the way you talk, or you change something about you. Yeah, you may attract a different group of people, but they may be people that are attracted to that persona that you are embodying, which isn't really truly yours. So this is how it goes with this energy with money. You guys are changing this persona around money. The language, the communication, the way that you relate to your money, to finances in general, is shifting. And it all has to do with your energy, and it has to do with how you take care of yourself. Everything is really interconnected. Let's move on. Let's take a look at your love outlook. Okay, one sec. Knight of Coins, Earth energy. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And I'll take a look too. This is overall love, so I'm getting messages too for singles, for those in relationships, and for those that you're like, I don't want to do anything with love. Okay, for love, for those that are singles, right away I get, you guys want something serious, commitment. Some of you are in 2024 the type of relationship that's going to come in. So pay attention to what you feel, because if you're used to come and go people, things that move or accelerate fast, that's not it. This is a slow energy. Knight of Coins is the serious person. They're like, I want to get to know you. Let's be friends first, or let's create a strong foundation of friendship, and let's move slowly and work together and see, you know, how we interchange, how we get along, whether our values are aligned, and whether we have the same vision for the future, because this is someone that wants to grow with you. And I feel like for those that are looking for love, you want the same thing. So that means if you've been entertaining or going out with people that haven't expressed this, it's going to feel very different, perhaps uncomfortable, because you may feel like, whoa, where's the passion? Where's the excitement here? And it may be a little bit too quote unquote quiet for you. Strong, I feel like this is your driving compass here, is the moon, you guys, because this is what summed up 2023. And I feel like you're carrying that forth in 2024. So it's about feeling. Ever notice when you're with someone and things feel exciting, but then you start to see patterns and you feel a certain way, but you don't pay attention to that and you keep pushing? This type of energy with your love for the singles is going to be different, because you may feel a certain sense of peace, a certain sense of, this actually feels good. This person is asking really good questions. It feels different. It may not feel the same, where the energies and the way it's expressed is not as vibrant. And I'm not saying it won't be. It's just coming out differently. And it's going to be tapping into your body, into your intuition and what you're feeling, that's going to give you the answers. Because I feel like you may meet this person in a group, in a friendship group. It may be someone you've known or someone that you're going to get to know. So things may move slower. So for folks, for those of you that have been used to things like accelerating really quickly in love, and then they, burn out, flame out, this isn't it. This is going to be a very different type of energy, where you're going to be moving slow and steady, getting to know one another. It's meaningful, it's intentional. I feel like it's going to be both, because it's mirrored. So I feel like this person is going to make effort and say, hey, I'd love to get together with you next week. What does your calendar look like? Let's make space. There's going to be a knowing, like, you know, we want to grow together. We want to have the same things in common, especially, you know, morals, values, and generally the overall direction of life, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be the same, but if someone wants children, for example, and the other person's like, no, well, that may be conflicting, right? So there's a general sense of, we're going to work together to get to know each other and build. Because Taurus energy, I'm getting strong Taurus, but this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's a longevity, a sustainability of wanting to grow and build together in a meaningful way. So my single Aries, some of you may also are coming to the realization that this is an energy that you're not acquainted with and you're not used to, that what hasn't worked for you before has to change. Because if you want a different outcome, then obviously what you've been doing is not working. So that may mean exploring different ways of meeting people. Perhaps speed dating or dating apps may not work, because there's a sense of quickness to them, even if the process doesn't move as quickly, right? And it may be stressful. Some of you may want to explore wherever that you enjoy your pleasures, your fun, anything that you enjoy doing. That is a key to where you can meet people. Because right now I'm seeing clay, art class. It doesn't mean you have to do art, but clay, you know, where you are on a wheel. It's like, you know, it's a methodical process. You don't create clay pieces in a minute. There's something like that here. Some of you may want to look at new groups, like meetups, local clubs, local groups. Check out if you're in university, ask friends, family about it. Look at different announcements, recreation centers, organizations, nonprofits around you. They have different events, your city's cultural events, different social media platforms to post these. There's something about joining different places where you first are focusing on, okay, I want to have fun. What do I like doing? Because I feel like that's where you're going to meet some of these people that you're going to connect with. And it's going to be a slow and steady. You know, when you keep seeing someone at the same coffee shop or at the same class and you get to know them gradually, it's like that. For some of you, you can meet them at work. Pentacles indicates, and this is coins in this deck, but Pentacles, earth energy. It also indicates earth energy, work. It could be around work, professional. So you may meet someone too through work. So stay tuned for that. For those of you that are in relationships already, in commitments, 2024 with the Knight of Pentacles, it's further growth, further up leveling. You guys are moving up together. I sense that strongly. This is a beautiful energy. Earth energy is amazing for love because it's building slow with intentionality. They don't build just to build. They're like, okay, we got to measure, make sure there aren't any holes under this house, make sure everything's level because we don't want this house to fall apart. So For those of you that are in relationships, I feel like this is moving up the next level, whatever that means to you. It's gonna mean something very different for everyone. Maybe moving in together, maybe saying, okay, this is our status, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. Maybe you're getting married or engaged, or you're about to get a pet together or have a child. So again, it's going to be very different, but there's some growth here. There's growth, and you're moving up a level in 2024. You're building together. Beautiful energy. For those of my singles, I feel like you're working on yourself here. For those of you that are like, nope, I don't want to love anyone, I feel like this is about loving yourself. So some of you are working or creating some type of container where you can really get to know yourself, almost like dating yourself. You know how some people write about like romancing yourself, taking yourself out on dates? Some of you are being asked to inject a little bit more sensuality and romance in your life. That's fine, you don't need anyone else to do that, but it's asking you, how do you like that? How do you like, in what ways do you like this to be done for you? What does this look like? What does romance, sensuality, feeling good, going out and having fun look like for you? Especially if this is something you'd like to do on your own. I also feel like you're building the relationship to yourself that's stronger. So some of you may be continuing further personal development, and this could be in terms of your values, self-esteem, confidence, worth. It could be unpacking different forms of past wounds and traumas as well by working with someone else, because there's a slow and steady growth here that's happening. So you're building on it. Some of you may join like-minded groups, especially other circles with people. It could be based on similar interests, based on something that you want to achieve, like self-confidence, for example. So you join a circle or a group based around that. But for across the board, for all of my Aries, I feel like love in general, there's a greater amplification of love, self-love, valuing yourself. Amazing how this connects. This is similar to Queen of Cups. Like I mentioned too, with your career, I feel like it's connected. Some of you are really just getting clear in 2024. I want to take care of myself. I really want to, it could be getting in better shape, sleeping more, doing inner work, whatever it means. There's an overall sense of taking care of yourself and loving yourself. Major glow up. It's going to have major ripples throughout all areas of your life. Ever notice when you just don't feel good? You just emit, it's like a type of energy you emit. You know when you're grumpy and grouchy and you're like, get away from me? People feel that. No one wants to be around that. But you know when you take care of yourself, when you've had an amazing night of sleep, when you take a shower, when you put on something that you feel good in, you notice the energy just, it shifts, and you've been around people like that. That's the energy I feel for all my Aries. So like I mentioned, whether you're looking for love, you're elevating the current relationship you're in, or you're like, nope, this love is going to be about me in 2024. I feel a super up-leveling growth. It's going to connect. I heard profit. It's going to allow other areas of your life to profit from this. Really, really wonderful energy. Okie dokes. Next area, family and friends. Next card, Queen of Wands, Leo energy. Fire. Some can denote also Sag and Aries. There's going to be more vibrancy again. I keep getting the way that you take care of yourself and manage your energy is going to have ripple effects on every area of your life. Okay, so for the Queen of Wands, this is someone who really values themselves, is not afraid to put themselves out there, but I also feel like they know they only have a limited amount of energy that they can refuel and renew. So I feel like some of you in 2024 are going to deselect. You know, when you ever have a form and you can select certain categories, I feel like, and this is metaphorical, you're going to take a look at everyone in your life and you're going to see who is worthy of my time and who isn't. And it's not because you are saying that in an offensive or demeaning way. It's almost because in 2024, you're going to realize, crap, I only have a limited, finite amount of time and energy to give. And I want to make sure it's quality, not quantity. Again, a huge up-leveling with Aries in 2024. So some of you are going to deselect some energies that maybe you've entertained, friendships, family, work people, professional people. It could be romantic too. And you're like, nope. I feel like you're going to be intentional about it, and that's where you're going to inject all that energy. It's almost like when you decide, okay, these are the people I want to really focus on. And then you're going to show up and create that time and space for them. Because the Queen of Wands, when she decides something, she'll put all her effort, her energy, her love into that. And she'll show up 100% committed and bring that energy. There's also a spirit of generosity here with this energy of vibrancy. So whatever you decide to reallocate in terms of your energy, and you're like, I'm going to put it in these people and these relationships and these social groups or activities, it's going to give you more life because those folks are feeding and uplifting you. So think about in 2024, and as we go into that, obviously, because when this comes out, it's going to be still 2023. Who doesn't nourish you anymore? Like this goes back to the big theme. Who nourishes you and who doesn't? Who makes you feel good and who doesn't? Who uplifts you? Who truly supports you? And it's all going to come from how you're feeling around these people. It's all feeling. Because someone can be doing all the right things and you're just not feeling it. Again, that's why sometimes we don't click with people. They could be nice on the outside. There could be nothing wrong with them, but sometimes we don't click with them. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys are just at different frequencies. You may have different values, different ideas of what friendship means. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you and that person or those group of people, you're not meant to travel together in this season or right now in this life. For those of you that you're like, what friends or family? Because I got like a vacant energy here. So for those of you that, excuse me, that are looking to recoup, create some type of community or forge and create new friendships, this is asking you to put yourself out there, to be bold, to be seen. Some of you may have, again, all energy, may have put too much energy and time into other things, so you weren't able to devote to maybe social connections or family or friends. So if this is something that's of interest and something you want to prioritize in 2024, make sure you are seen. Yes, but this isn't virtual type of friendships. This is speaking to, for a few it could be virtual, but for vast, I feel like this is in person. There's something in person. Not that if you have friends from far away, you're not going to nurture them, but there's something about in person and bringing that energy. Because some of you, because of time limitations and simply maybe you weren't prioritizing it for whatever reason, that energy wasn't going towards the cultivation and nourishing of these connections. And so this is asking you to be seen in some way. Going out, trying new things. If there's someone that you're feeling a connection with, and remember, I'm talking about friends and family, so platonic here, reach out, ask them for a coffee, ask them, hey, you want to hang out sometimes? Hey, you know what, we have this in common, or would you like to go attend this group together? There's something about being bold and taking that risk forward. For some of you, this could be someone that you could potentially find some type of connection community with based on something you enjoy doing. Similar to that energy I got with the Knight of Coins. So if there's something that, maybe it's a workout class, maybe it's some type of hobby, or something you go into a store for and you're like, okay, I need paintbrushes. I keep getting art with you guys. Paintbrushes or something related to that. Library. If you like reading, for example, there's something there where maybe you're being called to look at their calendar of events, or you see someone next to you looking for the same book or the same supplies and you hit up a conversation. It's something like that. Don't be afraid to take the first step forward towards that, to initiate a conversation. Which is interesting because I'm talking to Aries, who are cardinal tropical signs, who initiate things and are generally assertive, but that's an archetype here. So I want to say, for those of you that have stuck to the same type of people, or you've in the past year have realized, you know what, I've kept myself limited and I know I want to expand in this area, because not everyone is going to prioritize every category that we're going over here. But for those of you that really want to expand this area, you're being asked to put yourself out there in a different way. Show up for yourself. And sometimes, again, when we bring, it's all about energy, basic thing, that's it. If we don't show up feeling or looking our best, and looking doesn't have to mean physical, by the way, we will attract people on that same energy, and we may realize, whoa, what happened? So it's not a knock on them, it's simply the truth. So there's something here, bringing your best self forward, putting yourself out there, doing something different and new, especially if it's something you haven't done before, and follow what interests you, because it's never going to lead you astray. So if you're someone that likes to read, for example, and you've always hit up the same bookstores or library, do something different. Go to a book fair, go to an exposition, go to a poetry reading, try a new bookstore. Something like that, because I feel like it's going to nurture, and it's robust. This energy is very lively, very robust, very exciting. You have potential in 2024 to really nurture and put energy in a positive way with these connections. Same thing. This speaks of almost, again, there's like a ferocity in a positive way of putting that energy towards what you want to focus on. What's that? There's that saying, energy grows where attention goes. When you delineate, okay, I know I want to have maybe family dinner every week. That's intentional, right? And you make space for it in your calendar. And so that's going to grow. That's the energy here. You guys have amazing cards. Amazing cards. Okay, what else is happening? Let's look at your spirituality. Okay, making sure I'm on point. We have spirituality here. We got the Fool, Aries energy. Remember what I said in the beginning? I feel like some of you have gone deeper or have been going deep in 2023 with your spirituality. You guys are starting over in some way, and I feel like this is a new level in your spiritual journey. It doesn't mean you're going back to square one when you were a baby. No, none of that. There's something here, you're going to the next level. If any of you have played video games or are aware of Nintendo, I used to play Nintendo as a kid, and so when you graduate and you finish a world like Super Mario, you go to the next world and it progressively gets harder. Think of it too like in schooling, you go up a new grade, right? It's exactly like this here. You are up leveling your spirituality in 2024. Brand new, exciting beginning. You've got a bunch of fire and water, and then you have earth. But with your spirituality, there's a vigorness, there's a sense of adventure. Some of you in 2024 may be wanting to take some type of trip, retreat, or pilgrimage related to your spirituality. It could be, and you got water. You got water. This was for your career outlook. This is for your spirituality, but you got water and tropical. Remember, we got this for your family and friends. Something watery, tropical. Some of you are going to a tropical, warm, or hot climate, or wanting to. This could be an intention that's related to your spirituality, like a retreat, some type of course you want to do abroad. It could be study abroad, it could be a course or a workshop, some type of travel related, like a pilgrimage. You know, when people travel to Santiago de Compostela, that pilgrimage starts in Portugal, France, or Spain. They have different routes, and it ends up in Spain. And there's different pilgrimages around the world people do. Sometimes people go to Nepal, India, Peru, South America. Every country has its own, right? And it doesn't have to be far. I'm just giving examples here, but that's the energy that I'm feeling. There's something new that you want to do, almost as if you want to learn something, but it's on a hands-on way where you're doing something active and learning. It's not just, okay, I'm gonna read a book. Although that could be it too with mental stimulation, but I get strongly here. There's something more that you want to do. It's like a leap of faith type of energy. Some of you may not have done this before for whatever reasons. Again, I sense 2023, you guys were working a lot, we're very busy, and we're committed to a lot of things. And 2024, there's a lot of clearing up and getting intentional with your energy. That's what I'm feeling. Because you may have felt at the end of the year like, shit, I'm feeling a bit tired here. And just reflecting on everything, you may realize that you put a lot of energy in in baskets and eggs where you're like, I didn't really want to put it there. And that's okay, you're learning from that. Some of you, this could also mean, because your spirituality, it's a form of self-care as well, because self-care is multidimensional and there's different aspects. Some of you may be taking also a trip for yourself, as like a R&R, recuperation and rest. Again, a lot of tropicalness here, tropical energy and water. Some of you are going to an island. It could be something tropical, warm, a beach, it could be a lake as well. Sometimes retreats, people go to specific resorts. But there's something here about resting, rejuvenating, purifying, especially with the water element and with the heat, transmuting. You know, when you come back and you're just resting on a vacation, like you go there solely to rest, you come back renewed, different. And I'll just say it's different with kids. But I sense, especially with the Fool card, this is a solo trip. So regardless of whether or not you have parents or pets, I feel like this is going to be something you're going to dedicate yourself to. And it doesn't have to be long, especially with this energy. It could be like a weekend getaway, 2 days. But there's something about pressing the reset button in the spirituality part of your life in 2024, which is going to completely reboot you and take you to another way of relating to yourself, to your spiritual team. Some of you are going to also connect with teachers, guides, and other people you meet during this time of learning, of expansion, that's going to provide you the next and also give you the next puzzle piece to this path on your journey. Ever notice how one thing leads to another? You pick up an article and you're like, huh, this looks really interesting. I'm interested about volcanic rocks. Next thing you know, you're on a volcano site, you know, taking a tour or something, but there's something more about the energies relating to that, right? I keep getting volcano with you guys, so some of you may be connecting to deities, gods, maybe goddesses around volcanoes, fire. I'm hearing Hawaii, Mount Kilauea, because I'm just seeing volcanoes, so that may be something of importance. And I heard Polynesia, Micronesia. I feel as a result of your energy, because something underlying your 2024 reading has to do with energy management and integrity, how you are allocating your energy, where are you putting all that energy towards. And that's going to make a big difference with your spiritual life. I just sense a thirst, a quest for knowledge, for experiencing though. It's not just reading, like I mentioned, it's something about experiential experience. So you can almost imbibe it, almost absorb it. It's like that. It's like when you put a cream on your face, and generally most creams absorb. It's like that. So whatever you do in 2024, and it doesn't have to be far away, I want to make that clear, because I know I mentioned some examples and they're far away places depending on where you are at. It could be local too. It could be, you know what, I want to learn how to forest bathe or join a local hiking group or whatever. But there's a sense of an adventure of doing that in an experiential way. So you're applying what you've known, and you're applying that and doing it and learning more. So it's like a circle. A lot of growth. I feel like your energy is calling for, okay, let's get clear about what we want. Let's be intentional and real where we put this time and energy, and let's grow in new ways. Because some of you have been doing things in the same way, and your soul's like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's ready for more. Okay, now we're going to shift and take a look at the outlooks for each quarter. So we have January through March, April through June, July through September, October through December. So let's take a look at January to March. We have 5 of Swords. There's some type of change in the beginning of the year, January, February, and March, first quarter, if you will. And I want to make clear, life is life. It doesn't matter what sign you are. There's always going to be some challenges that arise, but it's about how you face them, how you respond, right? I feel here with the 5 of Swords, there's going to be some type of change that may lead to some type of sadness. It's more of an inner mindset type of loss. But I feel like this is something that's happening. You know, when you let go of an old way of being, and there's some type of grief with that. It's as if the best way is, maybe you're making a lifestyle change and you want to eat healthier, but you used to go maybe with your partner, with your kids, to pizza, who knows, every week or twice a week, and you know things are going to have to shift because you want to eat healthier and create a healthier lifestyle, but also for your family. This is just an example. It's sad when you think about it, because you may have memories. There's a lot of fun when people connect through food, for example. That's the type of energy that I'm feeling. So there's some type of up leveling. You're going to realize that something is not working during Q1, and it has to do a lot with the way that you express, communicate, and receive that too. So pay attention to how people are also giving this back to you, and also belief systems strongly. It deals with intellect as well, but I feel like this is strongly getting belief system or mindset. And you're like, this isn't working anymore. And it could be something that you've been comfortable in, something that you've tied to a particular meaning, a story, or a person. Again, going back to that food example. It's like maybe you and your partner or a friend always go out to movies and you order the whole shebang, right? Popcorn, candies, sodas. And then you're like, you know what, I want to get healthier, so something needs to change. And you grieve that old way of being, that old life. Same thing when people are sick and they realize I can't have sugar anymore, or dairy or gluten. You grieve what you used to enjoy, what you ate. And it could be discomforting or a little bit uncomfortable, because now you're like, okay, I have to learn something new, find new tools, new ways, etc. And there's always something different, but it's almost about elevating and going through that and shifting. And that's the energy that I'm feeling here. For some of you, it may be reflected in what others say to you, or what it's mirroring to you. So it may come off, it's like a trigger, you know, like a ping. When someone says something, it could be intentionally good, but it doesn't come off that way, and then it just triggers you, because there could be a little bit of pain with that. But I also feel like some of you are going to see something bigger beyond that and realize, oh wow, when you start processing that, you're going to see something bigger. Again, when someone triggers you in some way, whether they don't appreciate you, they don't value you, it hurts at first, right? And afterwards, when you allow it to sit, you're like, huh, what's this showing me? Because this is what's asking you here. This is something that's going to change. And you're like, wait a minute. And then sometimes that's when you get a fluctuation of other emotions. So you're like, hell no, I'm not putting up with this shit. You're like, you may come to the realization that certain people don't value you. And the way that it goes about, the way it's told to you or expressed to you, it comes off in a way that may hurt you, but that allows you to precipitate the changes that you need. For some of you, it's not going to come across like this for everyone, but for some of you, it may be like the thing that allows you to finally say, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Let me clarify it too. I'm going to clarify, because sometimes with these cards, folks, I don't want you to focus on, okay, Five of Swords. I feel like for most of you, you know, there's a mindset maybe that has kept repeating, especially with other people, or that you have perpetuated and you're like, I'm ready to change it. It could be anything from food related or from the way someone treats you. Can we clarify the Five of Swords, please, for my Aries? Five of Swords, please. Oh, thank you. We got two. King of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Holy smokes, you got the Fool card in this other deck. Wow. You're doing something very new in how you take care of yourself. For some of you, okay, right away, some of you knew something about people. It's like your instinct and your intuition speaking to you. You knew something about someone or something or situation, and you didn't listen to yourself. And then it's that saying, it came to bite you in the ass. Later on, you're like, why didn't I listen to myself? I knew this was it. It's reminding you here, you gotta trust yourself. Some of you, like I mentioned earlier in your reading, your psychic skills have amplified, have become stronger, and they will be in 2024. You gotta trust yourself. It's not bad, but it sucks too when you realize something that you thought was going to turn out a different way. It could be a friendship, for example, and you're like, shit, I knew this was gonna happen. You know those moments? They're all learning experiences, that's it. We all go through them. But it's telling you this is something that has to shift within you, and it's going to happen, because look at this here. You're getting ready to embrace a new way of being here. This is a new philosophy, a new mindset. a new way of expressing and communicating. Many of you are in 2024, you're like, that's it. I am listening to my gut. Whatever I feel, I know it's true. I'm going to listen to it. And that's what you're being guided to. Interesting how you got the Fool card in your spirituality. So I feel like for the first quarter, you're being guided to completely embrace a new mindset, a new belief system. And that is going to liberate you. Got a lot of fire in your own reading, especially Aries twice. There's a form of liberation. This is also an act and a form of self-care as well. Let's take a look at the second quarter, April, May, and June. Okay, this will be a little bit longer than an hour. Got the Wheel of Fortune. Fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. Changes, blessings. You know, it aligns with the astrology too, because April, March, mid-March until mid-April, for those of you that are Aries sons, your birthday's in Aries season. You guys are celebrating your solar return, and that's the start of the spring equinox. We'll just say equinox, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, it doesn't matter. It's in the initiation of a new season. It has to do with the light, right? That's when many folks start getting that energy to start their New Year's goals. That's another conversation. That's why New Year's goals in January doesn't support it. Look at this. This is when you're gonna start seeing the tangible results of your efforts, of your work, of where you've been putting your energy manifest. Things are coming in. I feel like this is where new opportunities are going to abound. So that first season where we talked about the mindset shift, sometimes when you're wanting something new to come into your life, we don't realize why it's not happening because nothing has shifted. We think it's shifted because we may be, if we're looking for a job, putting out more job applications or revising the resume, but we're not getting or seeing what we want. And it's because something that we're doing is still the same, right? So if, for example, the job like I just got, if you're looking for a job and you're applying to the jobs in the same way that you've done and you're not getting any bites, you're not getting feedback, think about what you can do to change the input process. Maybe try a different platform. Maybe change something in your documents, right? Maybe change the way or who you connect with, or try a different networking event. There's something in the input process, the before part, that is going to help you shift the outcome, the output part, in terms of, okay, how can I get more traction, more feedback, more responses here? So this has to do with your mindset. Once we realize that something has shifted and no longer works for us, because look at this energy here. You're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm trusting myself. This is a new way of being, brand spanking new way. You're gonna see momentum forward. It'd be great if we could do that in 24 hours and call it a day, but usually it takes some time to integrate, right? And it's actually a very short period. 1 quarter is 3 months. It seems like a long time, it's nothing, it's really quick. What I see for your second quarter, April, May, June, all these opportunities coming, get ready to receive. You see the hands out, they're out, get ready to receive. Especially for those of you, if you're watching, many of you are probably Aries suns, risings, maybe moons, or even North Node. It doesn't matter, whatever you intuitively feel guided towards. Something is changing here in your life because the Wheel of Fortune indicates, okay, any challenges you've overcome, there's a change that's happening here. Think of like the game, Wheel of Fortune, right? But blessings are coming to you. Things are changing for the better for you. Has a lot to do with your energy, like I mentioned. So I would suggest, based on the energies here, from now until January, it doesn't mean that you're just sitting on the couch, but really work on releasing, finishing up any last minute things, loose things, and anything that you've been working on changing. Mindset, like maybe getting more sleep or taking care of yourself, because there's a strong self-care component with you guys and energy. Maybe learning how to honor and protect your personal boundaries, especially with work and home life, personal. Start practicing that, because that is going to come into this, it connects. It's going to allow you, when you make that shift, to really embrace these new opportunities in a different way that you may not have been able to before. It's also asking you to. You may get a lot of different opportunities to start. And I take a look too at the Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus energies of your life, because you'll find out, especially what houses they rule, specifically what could be coming up. But I feel strongly it's about being picky and choosy. Because of the strong focus on your energy, you're going to get a lot, and it's going to be about tapping into your intuition. Remember, this was the first quarter, the mindset shift that we talked about. Does this feel good to me? Does this make me want to go hell yes? That's the Fool card energy. It's a youthful energy. They're like, oh, hell yes. Because if it doesn't, if it's not a hell yes, and we've heard this said before, then it's a hell no. So some of you are going to learn how to discern opportunities and blessings that come into you in the second quarter. It's almost like the universe dropping all of these amazing things, and you're like, yes, yes, yes. It's like gobbling up everything. But then you may find yourself overwhelmed. You may find yourself carrying more than you realize, and you're like, how am I going to get this shit done? I don't have enough time in a day. That's where you got to be discerning here. Because the wheel doesn't just stay stuck and it comes around once. You'll get the wheel again, but you got to be very purposeful and clear about how you want to use your energy in 2024. Okay, let's look at the third quarter. We've got July, August, September. We've got 5 of Cups. There's only 2 5s. But I feel strongly many of you are breaking old patterns and old cycles, old ways of being. 5 of Cups, 3rd cycle. I feel like this is a tune-in, a check-in, almost like, okay, because I don't feel like we see these cards and people are like, oh shit, is the 3rd quarter going to be like this? No, but we see the moon here. And so I feel like with the 5 of Cups, anything that doesn't feel good, again, this speaks to energy. Anything where you've been overgiving, you're going to see it being highlighted during the 3rd quarter. And this is July, August, September. Some of you may be going through some changes that are going to be tied to your emotions. In other words, it could be some type of release, some type of ending for you, but I feel like it's more of a change, which generally could be an ending and a start, right? It's a change, point blank. And it could lead you into your feels. But we're also, during this time, July, we enter Cancer season. So there's generally a shitload more of feels. A lot of people tend to be more emotional during the water sign seasons, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So there's something here, especially with the 5, and I feel it has to do with your home foundation, even though I'm just channeling this, that you may not feel like it's giving to you. There's something from the past. You see this hand holding on to the person's hair? You may feel like you are in some way restricted, something's holding you back from your past, and it could be something that you're projecting from within, like you're holding yourself back, or it could be something else that's happening around you. Let's clarify this. Be careful too, because sometimes it's easy to slip back into old ways of being. Can we clarify the 5 of Cups, please, for my Aries? What I'm strongly sensing and channeling right now is the way that you are going to change, like I mentioned earlier, your mindset, your beliefs. That means some people are not going to be coming with you in your life. Because you know when you put boundaries up, or something in the way that your worldview changes, not everyone is going to embrace that. That's the energy. Can we clarify? Thank you. Got 7 of Cups at the bottom. I heard look down, which is why I looked down under the deck. You got a lot of choices here. 2 of Wands. Some of you may be moving in the 3rd quarter, July, August, September. You may be planning for a move, which means you may be moving away from people that you care about. It could be community, it could be family, friends. But I feel like this has to do more with releasing something. You've got the Lovers, Gemini energy in reverse. something's imbalanced. So for some of you, this all has to do with your intuition. And it doesn't have to be romantic or love. Excuse me, it doesn't have to be romantic, because friendships and family can include love. But this could be something or someone in your life, particularly a relationship. It could be that's now in your life, part of your life, that it's going to change in some way, because there could be an imbalance that comes up. And during the third quarter, you may have some level of awareness. It could speak to relationships too. But I feel like there's something that you have to see first, because this speaks, it not just speaks to physical union, but relationships, harmony, balance. There's something it's not balanced at all during this third quarter. And I feel like you're going to have to let something or someone go to bring that balance. We got 6 here. These are the energies. Some of you may be moving for a job. Look at this. Third quarter, July, August, September. Some of you may find out, hey, I got a job. This could be long distance. Especially since the preceding quarter, we got the Wheel of Fortune. This speaks at a distance as well. Some of you may be coming into opportunities which are amazing, like getting a job, but it could be a job from in a different location. And so there's something here. I feel like it's a positive situation, but it means letting go. Again, you know, when you have to move for a job and you're excited about it, but that may mean leaving behind a home you love, right? Or the community you've invested in, or maybe a relationship or relationships or people. You know, when you've created a community and when you move, you have to start again to create. It's like that. I wouldn't see it as negative. Let me see. Can we get advice for my Aries, please, with this third quarter, with the 5 of Cups energy, the imbalance? Advice for my Aries, because it's always good to be proactive. Advice. Queen of Swords. This is connecting to your truth. Some of you are going to have a lot of people around you that may try to influence your decision, whatever opportunity comes up, whatever is going to mean like shifting or moving in some way from these connections or people. Be careful of anyone trying to hold you back. This is why your intuition is going to be primarily acute and important for you to tap into, and to also remember it's a point of awareness that's been present throughout your reading. This is your advice. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Usually with this energy, with the Queen of Swords, this is air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It means setting your boundaries. It can mean for many, yeah, I'm leaving behind the old and I'm going forward. But it also means connecting to your truth. You got to do what's right for you. That's going to be the most important thing to remember. Okay, let's get into the final quarter of the year, October, November, December. We have the Hermit card. We got 9, Virgo energy. Look at this. It's interesting. I sense some of you are going to make moves. Some of you are going to move July, August, September. You're going to move somewhere that's not where you are now. It's not in the same town or city. I feel some of you are going to move somewhere different, or it could be indicative of a completely new lifestyle change, which means that your community could change if you do stay or reside in the same area. Because I feel like the final 3 months of 2024 are going to largely be spent reacquainting yourself, getting comfortable with where you're at. Hermiting is also an introspective energy, also speaks to being alone. And we got that too with the Queen of Swords. It's a cutting out energy, setting boundaries too. But I also feel like here, some of you are simply getting reacquainted with your environment, where you're at, going within. There's a time of it could be a season for you of spending some time alone to recoup. Interesting how it connects. So if any of you are moving towards the middle part of the year, towards the beginning of next year, There's always that space where when you move to a new place, you may feel alone for a little bit. And I feel like you're navigating, it's connecting to yourself. It's almost like where we started with this end of the year. You're connecting to yourself and seeing what feels right for you, what feels true, what feels good, what doesn't. It's getting to know yourself in a different environment. Anything else we need to know about the Hermit? Okay. No. Nope. Hold on. Bunch of cards came out. Can we get one card, please? Anything else we need to know about the Hermit? Thank you. We got Two of Cups. Look at this. Again, you already noted what we got in the third quarter, July, August, September. So the final quarter, some of you may be taking distance from a relationship or from people in your life. But I also feel like some of you are doing this to regain an inner sense of being, connection, and equilibrium within yourself. You know, sometimes they say when you need space, you just need to get away from it all. And that's why people go like to the forest, to retreats, to cabins, or do staycations. That's the energy that I'm feeling here. And I feel like it has to do more with tending to yourself, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, and finding that type of equilibrium within you. For some of you, if this concerns a particular relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic. You're going to get the answers and the next puzzle pieces that you need while you're in this Hermit phase. That's why it's necessary for you to separate yourself, create your own little bubble, and connect to yourself during this time. This is going to be during the fall, early winter season for those in the Northern Hemisphere. There's a lot happening towards the latter part of 2024 that speaks to balance. I feel like some of you are walking away from anyone that disturbs your peace. Because I feel like you're going to see right through them. You're going to see right through the mask, through the shit. Let me see the bottom of the deck. Holy smokes. We got 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Wands. 4 of Swords. So again, you know what's interesting, because Aries and Libra are the lunar nodes prominent for next year. And relationships are going to be a big key theme, particularly for those two signs. So for some of you, you're going to be clearing away energies. Remember I mentioned earlier in your reading about selecting and deselecting, like when you're filling out a form, you can deselect. I got that strongly. You guys are cleaning out the people you spend time with. We got that when we talked about your friends and family outlook. This is going to be continuing throughout the year because it's getting you closer to yourself, to what you want, and to the path that you're meant to be on. This is connecting strongly to your values, to your boundaries as well. Some of you are learning about if it doesn't feel good, if it's causing any form of disharmony, discordance, and it doesn't have to be drama, it doesn't have to be big fights. It simply doesn't feel right. And sometimes we can't explain it. It doesn't mean you're with someone and then 5 minutes later you're like, see ya, it doesn't feel right. You'll just know. This is coming from within your soul. Hence, a lot of, you got Queen of Cups, King of Cups, strong focus on your psychic and intuitive abilities and connections this year. A lot of this is going to come from within. So it's going to be very important. If something doesn't feel right to you, you're being asked to communicate that. And to gauge, you got to use and tap into your intuition. It's going to be key. Because many of you are meant to carve your own path. It doesn't mean you're going to be solo. I want to make that clear. And some people that are around you, all types of relationship, platonic and romantic, they're holding you back. That's all I can say. I can't continue. I can't say anything more because I'm being guided here. This is something you have to feel and make the decision for yourself. Some of you already know some people around you. I heard vacuum. They're being vacuumed up. In other words, they may be exiting your life. Okay, let's move on. Let's see the biggest obstacle you will face in 2024. Eight of Swords. Clearly, this is letting go. There's some fears and also mindsets. I feel like it has to do strongly with relationships. Biggest obstacle here. Some of you are redoing, like I said. It's like wearing a new pair of jeans or putting on a new pair of glasses. Or for some of you, the best way to explain this is go to a store and just try on readers or glasses and you're like, crap, I can't see. It's that type of energy. It's releasing a way of doing something, a way of living, a way of being. This is also too what you're not willing to accept. There's a lot of self-imposed fears. I feel like many of you are going to be working and harnessing. That's why self-love is so important here. It's not just getting manis, petties, doing the hair, getting a bath. It's not like that. It doesn't matter your gender. This is deep too. This is about how you value yourself, and when people or situations come around you, whether they're connected to your values and whether it feels good around that. So that's going to be the biggest obstacle you face this year, is discerning what is good and not good for you. And I say that loosely because there's always a lesson in all of this, but it's also realizing I'm connected to something more and deeper here. And I know the situation does not value me, or these people don't appreciate me. What can I do? Some of you are learning to make decisions to be assertive based on your values. Anything else we need to know with the Eight of Swords? Thank you. That was quick. I didn't even shuffle, so this is still at the bottom of the deck. Again, relationships are going to be key for you. Many of you are looking for depth, or true soul connections. People that have your back and you have your back. People that understand you. People that put as much energy and passion into you as you them. So there's reciprocity here. You guys are getting rid of some people. We got Seven of Swords. That clarified and added more to the Eight of Swords. So some obstacles that you may face, again, it's not seeing the truth of how certain people or situations are, and that may obviously induce some pain, because sometimes we don't listen to our inner voice, our intuition, our guiding force, right? And that's the key, huge key theme here for my Aries. Listen to yourself. Doesn't matter if everyone else but you likes someone or loves being in this environment. If you're feeling something off, you got to trust it. And that's going to be what's guiding you, because this energy, there's some stuff that you don't see. The moon is going to be, some of you, if you haven't tapped into lunar energies or lunar cycles, because you got moon energy here present throughout your reading, this may be especially important for you. It's going to help you hone in and connect to yourself even deeper, i.e., in other words, trust yourself more, hone your intuition and psychic abilities. There could be some tricky players, characters, I'll say, people around you. And I feel like that's going to be the biggest obstacle that you'll face, is learning to discern who is trustworthy, who really cares about you, and who isn't just a slime ball, who isn't just trying to get something from you. Because I feel like those that I'm connecting to, you got a spirit of generosity here, where you help people, but sometimes you don't get that back. There could be deceptive energies around you as well. I'm getting too, for some of you, you're gonna know this because you may feel like some people envy or are jealous about you or around you. So if you get that around certain people, you'll know, and it's better not to say anything to them about your life. Don't feed your energy there. Okay, let's see how you can tackle this obstacle. I can tell you, trust what you're feeling. You got 10 of coins. Look who's consistent. Day in and day out, who's consistent with you. Don't look at the people that have been hot and cold, that come in and out of your life, that are inconsistent. The way that you'll be able to tackle this is the people that feed you. It's reciprocal. There's a reciprocal energy. Sorry guys about that. You'll be able to overcome this obstacle by paying attention to energies that are consistent, reciprocal, show up. They stay true to their word. Their actions, you know that saying, actions speak louder than words? Their words match their actions, in other words. So these folks are putting in the work like you are. You have friends that they're like, okay, meet me at the coffee shop at 10, and they show up. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. So pay attention to people that show up and say and follow through with what they say they'll do. Because there could be energies around you that tell you one thing and they don't. And it could be it doesn't have to just be relationships. It could be situations where you have a job situation, employers, or love, or even yourself, where you're like, whoa, I'm off my game here. I'm not following through on this. And so this is simply asking yourself, okay, well, first, why? Second, what are you feeling? Because I feel like many of you have gotten almost like clues from the universe about people. And I feel it strongly, it has to do with the body. So you're feeling it internally. So you're being asked to pay attention to what you're feeling and don't project what you want or what you're hoping. That's, I think, the biggest path to pain is when we project our hopes and dreams onto others, and then we are so disappointed when it doesn't turn out that way. 2024, you're carrying this strong message, or excuse me, this strong, well, it is a message too, but it's a strong focus on trusting yourself, trusting what you feel and not necessarily what you see. So folks, people that show up for you, that follow through, that say what they're going to do, that want to build, that's a thing. They'll be there for you in the messy moments as well as in the fun, easy moments. For many of you, this concerns relationships. It's connected to your value and your self-care and your energy, like I mentioned throughout. Anything else we need to know with the 10 of coins? Anything else my Aries need to know, please, about how to tackle this? Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself first. That's going to be key. It's nothing to do with being selfish. Some of you need to 100% show up for yourself. What do you want to accomplish in 2024? It doesn't have to be anything like 100 million things. Delineate what it is you want to accomplish and show up for yourself every day first before others. Many of you are recreating your own group of connections. You're cleaning out people that weren't really there for you. So clarifying the 10 of coins, we have Knight of Swords, 4 of Wands. You're leaving behind people that were never truly invested into you. I feel like there were some people, because many of you, I feel, have you work hard towards what it is you want to accomplish. Sorry for the barks. And I feel like that provokes a lot of admiration, a lot of jealousy, and a lot of envy for others, because they see you and they see things pop up. They only look on the outside. If it helps, I have 2 Sagittarius dogs, so they're going at it right now. So there's some people that were only around your orbit because of what they could get from you instead of being supportive. Many of you, I feel, already felt this, and you're going to see this throughout the year. And some of you have been holding on to people where you know you felt this energy and you're like, I hope they change. Pay attention to how you feel. Some of you are being guided to move in silence. Okay, let's get the final card for the overview for your year ahead. 8 of Wands. Go after what it is you want. Put the energy towards you. Again, disclaimer, doesn't mean it's just you and you forget about people that you care about. This is using your time, your energy in a meaningful way. getting really clear, what do I want to accomplish? What really matters to me? What would really make a difference at the end of the year in 2024? What would really make me feel like I've done something? Putting your energy towards what you want to create and with whom. This is a really positive card. I'm not getting, because I am also an intuitive reader and I also read traditionally. I'm getting here, this is, yeah, consolidate your energy. So if you were to map out on a piece of paper, what do I currently put my time and energy towards? Think about what you feel good around. Again, if checking email is part of your job, unfortunately, we can minimize it, but usually we can't get rid of some of the boring things, right? But if there's a club you no longer want to be a part of, or a class, or a teacher, or friendship groups, or whatever it is, this is about consolidating that energy and using it to the best of your ability, because you want to feel good. This is tapped into Aries. Some of you have been running on low fuel, and I feel like there's energies around you that have affected this. It's as if you may have had premium fuel in a car, but then you have weight on the car, because the more stuff you add on top of the car or in the trunk, it diminishes fuel efficiency. And I'm saying this all metaphorically. You may have amazing practices with self-care right now, sleeping, but you may have energies around you that are siphoning that. So you may be wondering, why do I feel a certain way? Because sometimes people see that you're accomplishing or doing good things in life, you're elevating, you're making progress. You're basically putting in the hard work, and other people want to profit off of that. Okay, let's move on now to your oracle. We're going to take a look and see what further directions you need to be aware of. We'll take a look at self-care to focus on for 2024 and final advice from spirit animals and archangels. What direction are my Aries moving in 2024? Okay, thank you. We have guilt. No, you're not moving towards being guilty. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. I won't belabor this, but we've talked about the belief. For some, it's going to be connected to people. So be careful. Don't let anyone manipulate you, make you feel guilty, bring up things, all of that. This is releasing any feelings associated with this that you may carry, that you feel like you felt like you were responsible for someone else or for something that didn't come to fruition in some way. Again, I told you, huge mindset with your beliefs. We got that in, what was it, Q1, about that mindset shift. You're gonna feel this. Look at these colors. Sacral chakra, root chakra energies. You're gonna feel, I feel like a drive to go all in to what it is you want to do, but you're not gonna be doing it in the same way. And for some other people that were around you that may have benefited from you, they may feel a certain something about that, and they may tell you, but this is sticking to your beliefs, to what matters to you in 2024. Huge paradigm shifts for many folks. What else do my Aries need to know? What else do they need to be aware of? What else do my Aries need to know, please? Okay. We've got sextile. This is an astrological aspect. Opportunity. Keywords associated with this include collaborates, assists, explains, provides opportunity, synergizes, creates possibilities for, opens doors, promises, brings insight to, communicates, welcomes, develops. Remember in your third quarter, we got the Wheel of Fortune. Be open to the opportunities, and it's going to come in many different ways. New friendships, new ways to learn, etc. A lot of different things. That's where your intuition is going to be key. Because you're going to have to discern which opportunities are for you. This can include people. It's like that palette here. You see the colors? you can choose what colors you want to use to create your canvas. It's that same energy here. There's an expansiveness here. Doors and roads are opening for you in 2024, but not every one of them is meant for you. And only you are going to be able to discern that. So it's not about saying yes to everything. It's about being selective and saying yes to the things that feel intuitively, you'll know, that feel good for you. What else do my Aries need to know for 2024? What direction is their soul calling them to go towards? Thank you. Okay, we got meditate. And we have a mandala this person is at. Some of you, this connects to your spirituality in large, but also way of life. This is an amazing way to manage your energy too, to go within. I mentioned earlier about your psychic and intuitive gifts amplifying and becoming sharper. This is another way this happens. Some of you may want to become more consistent with your meditation practice. It doesn't take a lot, but it also helps you hone in, because what I've noticed is working with folks, the more connected you are, the more you start to listen and pay attention to what feels good and true for you and not others. And that's when things become like that. You start shifting quickly because you no longer listen to other people. It doesn't mean you don't invite constructive feedback, or you don't ask someone, hey, what do you think about my shirt? This color or this? No, none of that. But many folks, you're going to start listening to yourself. You're like, I know this is true for me. I'm not doing this. Even if a lot of people are telling you otherwise. So meditation is coming up here. Some of you, this could help you too with releasing any old mindsets. We have here, I got the little boxes, the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. What else do my Aries need to know, please, for the 2024 year ahead? Where is their soul taking them? What else do my Aries need to know, please? We got the unending sadness of looking back. 36, which reduces to a 9. Endless regret, obsessive grief, replaying the past, negative nostalgia. Be careful of this, because in quarter one, remember you got 5 of Swords. And then we have here about guilt. Some of you, what you're going to experience in 2024 has a lot to do with other relationships and outgrowing them. And it's simply because you've grown. Ever notice how you can reunite with people or come back, and some people have stayed the same, they haven't really evolved? And it could be part of their journey, who knows? It's not really about judging them, but more so for you. You may have changed so much that who you used to connect with, what you used to connect with and do, it no longer feels right for you. So sometimes that could bring nostalgia back, because you know you are about to go. If you keep yourself where you're at just to be comfortable with certain people or to make them feel comfortable, you're not allowing yourself to grow. It's going to create stagnancy. That's when we become frustrated and when we may experience blockages. So there's an element here of nostalgia, which is, I mentioned this too in the beginning, the moon rules over this. Souvenir, nostalgia, memorabilia, mementos, remembering. Looking back. It's okay to remember, but be careful of getting caught up, right? It's okay to appreciate what we've learned, how it has helped us get to where we are, but be careful about ruminating too much or spending a lot of times going over that, because if there's guilt associated with that, that could be something to work on through journaling, through a trusted person, like a coach, an alternative healer, a psychic, a therapist, counselor, whomever that you trust, so you could process that, because this is all part of the mindset that I mentioned earlier. You guys are working through, you guys are shifting big time, especially with the Fool card that you got twice. Your soul's like, hey, we gotta go, Aries, it's time for something new. Be careful about replaying the past, because when we focus on what we don't want, we start getting into that energy and over identifying with it, and that's when things can start coming up where we're like, hey, I don't want to see this. I want to see and tap into what is the best form of self-care for you all to focus on. Doesn't mean it's gotta be the only one, but it could be something new, something you're renewing, or something to get back into. Okay. What form or forms of self-care are options for my Aries to pursue in 2024? I think one turned over. I'm gonna have to wait. Yes. Okay. Okay, we got one. We got 46, which reduces to a 10, soak in a bath. There's a lot of meditative water qualities. Remember, I mentioned that earlier, water. Water is key for you. Some of you are learning how to flow, how to surrender, how to release control, how to actually just effing relax. Like, relax. Learning to take care of yourself in a new way. This could also connect to self-parenting too. Nourishing, soothing, learning practices that help you feel emotionally safe and good. We have candles here, crystals, it looks like smoke, sage perhaps. And we've got the bath. Interesting because Pisces rules over the feet. So for some of you, this could have a strong connection too. There's letting go of the way of an old way of being and embracing the new. For some of you, this element, it seems so mundane, so trite. You're like, yeah, a bath. And it could simply mean anything to do with water or even soaking your feet or ritualizing your water experience in a different way. Maybe connecting to essences or scents or florals or some type of experience. You know how they have different scents like eucalyptus for de-stressing, peppermint, citrus for energizing. It's that kind of thing. There's a sense of ritualizing and connecting to that. Some of you are learning just how to relax. The water helps you do that. Some of you may want to engage in, again, flowers, salts, oils. There's a sense of ritual here. There's a renewal energy. When you reduce it all the way down from a 10, 1 and 0, you're starting over here. There's a lot of starting over energy. Some of you, self-care, however you define it, is going to be top priority for you. You're learning to really take care of your physical body, but also your spiritual body as well. So this could be key for you. Some of you may want to ritualize your evening or morning routines, the way you cleanse yourself. Could be water, smoke, crystals, releasing energy. This also speaks to purification and cleansing of energy. Some of the Aries that I'm connecting to, you may work with a lot of folks or interact with a lot of people, or simply be around a lot of energies, and there's a need for you to cleanse it because some of you may be absorbing it, especially if you're very sensitive to this. Okay, let's wrap this reading up. I did not anticipate it being this long. We're gonna get final advice from your spirit animals, archangels, for 2024. What messages do the spirit animals have for my Aries, please, for 2024? I heard that song by Aerosmith, Fly Away. So some of you winged creatures could be of importance for you in 2024. We got dog, friend. Today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and friend. Some of you may feel called in 2024 to get an animal companion, like a dog, or to work with animals or volunteer in some way. Let me put it closer so you can read it if you'd like. I'm looking here to see if we have any other animals. Earlier I mentioned we have the raccoons or pandas or red pandas down here. Some of you may connect to those. We have none here. We have a cow or a bull. Anything else here? We've got fish. The bottom. Anything else? We've got another, it looks like a deer or an antelope. A winged bird. This looks like a dog. We've got another winged bird. Why am I saying winged bird? They all have wings. A bird, maybe a donkey or a horse, and then more birds. Pay attention to who's loyal, because something that you may want to reflect on more is what loyalty means to you. Friendship, protector. Strong energy coming through about you want folks to have your back just like you have their back. This year is going to be about unpacking that. 2024, I'll say. Final messages. We've got one from the archangels and then a final message from Archangel Michael. Okay, you've got 2 archangel messages for 2024. We have Archangel Jules. Holy shit, there's something about water with you guys. Align with the highest, go with the flow. I said that. And there's a shell, a conch. Look at this. Some of you may want to connect with this archangel, see what messages you get. I suggest connecting first before Googling. See what you get. There's something about the water, which to me, you're becoming emotionally mature, vulnerable, psychic, intuitive, trusting yourself. Also learning to release people, learning to release things, expectations that do not align with you anymore. You're learning to release what you thought or how you thought things should go. Beautiful union and working with the feminine energy in 2024. You got Archangel Christine. That's my name. Accept the Christ light. Act with wisdom and loving compassion. This is really cool. This to me looks like solar plexus energy, throat chakra. This is a form of expression. You guys are expressing yourself in very new ways in 2024. A sense of empowerment. Together, you guys are empowering yourselves in different ways. Some people are not going to like it. But that's for you to discern and realize not everyone is going to like that, because I feel like when you believe in something for yourself, you go for it. You go towards that truth. This connects to this guilt card. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. This one. If you start realizing that some people were never aligned or supportive of you, think about, because there's a point where you process pain, right? Where you process like, crap, I thought that was a real friend, or could be a partner or whatever. And when you look at things from a different perspective, you're gonna see why things happen the way they did and what you are able to learn from it, because it's helping you too. Strong connection to your spirituality. Some of you are opening up to new gifts in 2024. There's a greater connection to your divine thread. It could be God, divine source, universe. You're following your own true soul's path. You got to stay true to yourself. Can we get a final message for my Aries, please, for 2024 from Archangel Michael? Damn, powerful reading. Final message, please, for my Aries. Okay, if we don't get any cards here, we're gonna pick one. I heard him. I think there's another one. Yep, you got 2. Okay. We got 26, which reduces to an 8. Recognize the signs from above. Angels are sending you messages now, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to divine guidance. I see coins, feathers, a dove or birds, repeating numbers, 444, butterflies, colors, rainbows. I feel like this speaks to your strong connection. Leaving 2023 and into 2024, you guys are going to be creating, nourishing, and cultivating an extremely strong connection to the divine, your own language, how it's expressed to you. And we got 18, which is a 9. Let it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. I won't repeat it, but there's themes here. You guys are elevating big time, like a balloon going up. So it's gonna have to be, you're gonna have to tap into, your discernment, your intuition to see who's coming and who's not. Doesn't mean you're controlling them or being responsible for them or tugging them along. That simply means learning to decipher for yourself when it's time to walk away from people, places, things, mindsets, belief systems that no longer work, irregardless of what other people think or feel. You guys are forging ahead in your own path, and there's a shitload of light. Do you see the light? It's from the hands. Some of you may come into a knowing, an awakening, a truth, where you may start feeling more energy around you within. Because the more that you take care of yourself, the stronger you start feeling just everything around you. It just becomes more fine-tuned. Butterflies, got butterflies too here. Holy smokes, my Aries, I hope this message resonated for someone out there for 2024. I know we're not even in there yet, but I hope this has helped guide you. I hope this has confirmed what has been going on and things that you've been feeling. It's always important to trust yourself. So many beautiful things happening. Always trust what you are receiving. Can't emphasize that more. Thank you so much for being here. I also want to say, if you're interested, I don't know if I forgot to say this or not. If not, I'll repeat it. If you're interested in being entered in a drawing for December for a complimentary 60-minute personal reading with me, it's live on video. Comment down below and specify an animal, your favorite animal or any animal that you want, and you'll be entered. I will announce 3 winners in January, early January, through a weekly energy forecast or through a post. So stay tuned. Again, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if this supported you. Share this. Comment down below. Let me know what you are leaving behind in 2023 and one intention you're setting forth. Thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you an absolutely beautiful and amazing 2024, my Aries. Take care.